by 95, I'll tell you a kind of story which wraps up with something that I saw going on in the net. So the late Dawood Burban, Rahmatullah alayh, Abu Talha, in 94, he was commissioned by, I think, Al-Hidayah to do a book. And so Dawood phoned me and he asked what book. And I said, oh, what about this, this, and this? And one of them that I mentioned, he said, I've got that in my list to do. And it was Sharh Sunnah of al-Barbahaaree. So we thought, fantastic. Since this book is on my list of doing and your list of doing, go for it. And at that time, Dawood said a second edition, scholarly edition, is coming out by a sheikh called Sheikh al-Radadi, Khalid al-Radadi. There was one edition at that time by Sayyid al-Qahtani as his PhD, and it got turned into a book. But there was a second edition coming out, so all the more to do it. And a few months later, Dawood Abu Talha phones me up and he says, issue with translating the book. What's the issue? He says, did you know that this book might not be Imam Barbahari's?
Yeah, I heard this. The first time I heard this recently.
I said, I have no idea. I have no idea. From what I recall, I said it's not in Qahtani's introduction. He doesn't mention that at all. He goes, no, it's in the new introduction by Radadi. Radadi says that the only manuscript we have. Anyway, I won't get into that. One of the issues was Barbahaaree might not have written the book. It could have been an earlier Hanbali scholar, Ghulam Khalil. I said, no problem. Is Ghulam Khalil a scholar? He goes, yes. Was he a Hanbali scholar? Yes. It doesn't matter. It's a book by a Hanbali scholar of an early period. If it's Ghulam Khalil, mashallah, we get more points because he's 100 years earlier. If it's Barbahaaree, not a problem. Nobody knows Barbahaaree anyway at that time in the English-speaking world. I said, okay, so that's done and dusted. We just stick with what Radadi says. Sheikh Radadi, in his research, what is his conclusion? Dawood said 4 points, and he feels these 4 points lend weight to Barbahaaree being the author. I said, go for it, Bismillah. Within about 2 years, I actually then differed from that conclusion because I had a third edition came out, and I was convinced that Barbahaaree wasn't. It made no difference because we weren't fixated because of Barbahaaree, although he was a legend in himself in terms of how he was, in his adherence of Sunnah, a bit more charismatic than Ghulam Khalil. But we were interested in what the book actually said.